But here is our grid. Stephen Magnet will be starting on pole with the Scirocco. Regliska in second in the Lexus. The Astra up in third place. GTR Astra. We don't really know how these cars are going to launch. Not seen them, so it could be an interesting run down towards turn one. Zars in the Mercedes in fourth. Can, please don't eat me, in the McGann make his way up to the front and escape a random demon in sixth place with that Civic. Jamjar Hastings in seventh with the Mercedes. HCR Espion will still be leading the championship in the Subaru. Needs to get some more points. F1 Kieran, very, very close battle for the victory, for the lead in race one. Impega down in 10th place in the very, very fast Ford. The Creator is 11th, just misses out on that reverse grid. 12th, EVR Invisible AK still has some work to do to try and get through the field in the McGann. Yami here, terrible bad luck in race one, is down in 13th place. Stevie in the second of the Axis Bank Volvos. Der Integra also looking for a little bit better run here in the Audi S3 down in 15th. THR Mugen is in 16th place with the Mazda, made up a couple of positions in that race. Shaq in 17th with the Alfa Romeo. Sheep got a lot of work to do in that Subaru after a very unfortunate race one. Tim in Ninetails is struggling a bit in the Scion, down in 19th place, as are the BMWs of Giz, starting from 20th place. Blazer in 21st with the Civic. Didn't see what happened. I think got in a bit of trouble towards the end of that race. Hordes had crash damage, I believe, in the BMW down in 22nd, ahead of Language in the third and final of the Volvos in 23rd. Well, it is all about to kick off here with the second race. Who will get the best of the start? It looks like the Scirocco has got off the line brilliantly well. It's an incredible start from the McGann. Where did that come from? Please Don't Eat Me is all the way up into third place almost. He is going to hold on to the Astras. That is a phenomenal start from the Renault. A little bit jittery through the first corner. Will we all make it? There was some dust being kicked up in the background. Not sure who ran a bit wide through there. Stephen is going to want to run away as fast as you can from this very big angry pack of cars as they file their way through these first corners. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal start from that McGann. Will lead them, or will probably be the highest of the gainers. The Astra, though, not too far behind. Here comes the Mercedes. Is he looking for a way past? Kind of jinks out to the inside, but is unable. Oh, big slide. Big oversteer moment from the Mercedes on some cold tyres. He might be about to lose a position to the Civic, although you want to be a bit careful. Trying to go too wide on this opening lap. Oh, there's a couple of cars off in the dirt. The Astra a long way off in the dirt. I think Zoz visited the dusty stuff. Here comes Impega down the inside of Kieran, and they're going to make it 3 wide into turn one. This is not likely to end too well for everybody. Oh, Impega and I think the Mercedes of Jam got together. Just 4 cars into one bit of tarmac does not quite fit through all of that. Kieran has made none of these guys here have really made positional gains on this opening lap. They are very, very busy fighting each other. Invisible AK in 11th, trying to sort of come with them through the field. Espion is up a position. A little bit of jittering from the Subaru. I'm not sure if that is off into the wire. I think the Subaru might have had the controller disconnect again. I think the Impreza might be in a lot of trouble here. He bounced off the wall, and I think he may have collected somebody coming across the road. It's Kieran versus Impega once more here, up towards the next corner. Can't do it. The mechanical troubles plaguing that Subaru. It is all the way down in 16th place. He has got it going again. Don't think he collected anyone then, if he's back in 16th place. Oh, it's not good for Espion. Technical difficulties plaguing the Subarus here. Yes, a lot of cars. This is a big group of cars. And we saw Invisible AK struggled so much with the fast Renault here. Just couldn't get through the pack. And, yeah, Espion has got 2 and 3 cars wide ahead of him. Trying to get moves done through this just sea of metal is so tough at a fast track like this. Although he might have got a good... If he can hold it on the outside, that Volvo is very quick through the corners. You got to bear that in mind. I think he may have got a couple of cars there. Good moves from Espion to move up into 14th place. Might be able to run his way towards the towards the points at least. I know it's going to be a victory for the Subaru. Stephen Magnet is currently leading the way in this race. Regliska still holding on to that second place. Don't forget, of course, very, very early stages of the run here. The Astra up in 4th place, though, is holding on well. Will that McGann get a good run? It looks like it might be trouble for Regliska down towards turn 1. Is the McGann going to have a dive? He thinks about it. Lexus kind of just parks it in the middle of the road. Renault thinks better of it. Through this first quarter they go. Can the McGann go around the outside? Not quite. I don't think we've seen a pass around the outside. We might have seen one at the start of the... Well, Impega went around the outside at the very start of the first race, but since then we haven't really seen an overtake like that work at this circuit. The McGann is going to get a cut back onto the back straight. Will he have the drive to beat that Lexus? The Lexus has been good in a straight line here. Actually, the Lexus has been getting off the corners and getting down the straights very well. It could cause a lot of problems. It's a big slide from the Scirocco. You don't want to be doing that particularly. Slow yourself down, cause trouble. Yeah, the McGann is just not quite close enough. Now, over the course of a flying lap in clean air, you would expect the Renault to be the quicker of the pair. We saw in qualifying the Renault was the quicker of the pair, but trying to get through traffic is the big issue here at Lime Rock. I mean, Jamjar is up in 6th place at the moment, but he's kind of stalled out a little bit, and Kieran, in fact, may be able to get a move done up the inside into turn 1. Will Jam try and hold it around the outside? No, Kieran I wouldn't say muscle, but certainly runs the Mercedes out a little bit wide, and the A-Class just doesn't have the grip, I don't think, to fight with that Audi. The Mercedes is likely to be the quicker of the pair at a straight line. Of course, the Audi gets a lovely toe all the way down. We didn't see them come onto the straight. It is possible that the Mercedes had a little bit of a poor run there. Looks like we're just going to jump back to Espion. Espion is battling for the final of the points-paying positions. He's got Sheep with him for company. The Subaru trying to get up the inside on this uphill corner. The BMW is going to hold it around the... And the more they fight here, the tougher it is going to be to make more progress through the field. I think there was a little bit of a bump between the Audi and the Subaru of Sheep. Sheep's touring the grass. I don't quite know where Sheep will filter back on. I think that's two times at the same corner, and Sheep has dropped down the order. Espion is now in a little bit of a safer position there in 13th place. Looks like Integra may be about to get a move done on the Creators Volvo. Not such a good start from the Volvo this time around. Dropped a little bit more down the order. Unfortunate for him. There looks like there is a hell of a train forming in 2nd place. Yeah, this is good news for Stephen Magnet to an extent. Bad news for everybody else. Kieran's going to catch up to this group in absolutely no time, and we saw what that Audi can do. But again, there is so much traffic. He tries to make a move on Demon. He's then got to worry about the Astra, got to worry about Jamjar's Mercedes, and of course Impega is at the back of this train. Stephen is... well, doing what you want to do here is kind of what you almost need to do as the Renault is out on the dirt once more. There's been a lot of grass cutting going on at that final corner. If Stephen doesn't make a mistake, you can just keep that gap going on. The Civic having a little bit of a look up the inside of the Astra, can't quite do it. What will Kieran be able to do? Oh, they touch ever so slightly. The Audi's trying to get to the inside. 3 wide there is never going to work. The only thing you can really do is sort of stick your nose there. It's a little bit speculative. The Audi trying to follow past on the inside. Is going to get stuck on the outside, though, for the next turn. They're side by side around the corner. It's a brilliant run from the S3. That is a hell of a run on the outside of that 3rd corner. And he will get past the Civic. Has the Honda got anything left to fight with through turn 4? No, he doesn't. The Astra's in all sorts of trouble out towards the wall. The Vauxhall, I don't think he's going to be able to defend from that Audi. It's a good couple of moves from the S3 as they head on to... oh, the Astra's out on the dirt. He gets away with it, gets back on track. It's going to be side by side between the pair of them around the final corner, and that's a very uncomfortable experience. It will be Kieran up into 4th place. Now the top 3 are going to be running a little bit scared. I think the Astra might be about to lose a whole heap of positions. You run wide at one corner, and here comes the train. The Astra's hung out to dry by the Civic. Mercedes wants to buy into this. Impega's going to want to have a go in the Focus as well. Mercedes can't do it. Good. Astra does well. Astra does very well to get himself back to the inside. Mercedes in trouble from the Focus. I think Impega's going to get that one. Around the next corner they go. Oh, they bump. Impega's on the dirt. The Mercedes is getting a little bit of teamwork. A little bit of teamwork push from the pair of them. I think Jamjar might actually keep it. If anything, Zars might be able to make up a position as we run through the next quarter. It is fantastic racing here. Zars is going to, I think, make up that place. Maybe not. Maybe the Ford can carry the speed on the outside. That Ford is so fast through the corners. He has got that 8th place back, but that is all. More grass. There's going to be no grass left on that outside. Absolutely no grass left out there. It is still a big battle for second place. I think Stephen might have made a mistake. The Scirocco is closer to this group. He would not want to have done that, and especially not with what he's seeing going on behind. The Renault is trying everything he can to find a way past that Lexus side by side through the next corner they go. It might be here the McGann if he can get the drive, if he can get the run down towards the all-important turn 5. If he can stay on the inside, who will have the straight line speed? Who will have the brakes? The McGann is going to try it. They give each other just about enough room up the hill, but still the Lexus doesn't give up on the outside. It's incredible driving from this pair. They have been side by side for nearly an entire lap of this Lime Rock circuit, and look at the gap the Volkswagen has got because of this. Still they run side by side through the final turn, and the Lexus might hold on. The Lexus has got the straight line speed. Here comes the Audi towards the inside. The Audi might get the pair of them before they're done fighting. Down towards the first corner. There you go. The Audi can't quite do it. They're all running wide on the brakes there. The Audi's going to get second. I think he will. The Audi is clear. The Lexus is on the grass. May well lose the podium spot. Loses the position to the pair of them. Great move from F1 Kieran there in the Audi. Spotted the gap. Spotted they were too busy fighting each other. A brilliant run down that start-finish straight. The Audi is up into second place with half the race to go. Stephen is going to have a tough job to hold that one off. Now, I did see something interesting. HDR Espion is up into the top 10. He's up into 9th place. We have lost Impega. I think Impega's all the way down in 20th place while we were watching that incredible battle for the second place. Impega has got into trouble. Do not know what happened to that. Oh, Impega and Jam, I think, have got together. Jam has limped his way into the pits. So there has been some sort of kerfuffle between those two vehicles as we're running in towards turn 1 here. Espion trying to hold off the Mercedes of Yami. It has not been a great day for the Mercedes here at Lime Rock. Well, a no-points finish will not be what Jam is going to want in terms of the championship. Good news for Alfa Romeo fans among you. The Alfa Romeo Shaq is actually up into the points in 12th with the Giulietta. Good to see the Alfa trying to score a few more points here. Yeah, and Impega's car does look decidedly second-hand, so something has got on between the pair of those. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a tyre bundle-related incident at this circuit. Well, indeed. Kieran might be looking for another very, very good points tally here, especially with... Oh, it's like the Renault's under fire. Especially with Espion having technical difficulties in the Subaru. He may well recover to score some solid points by the end of this race, but it's certainly not going to be podiums and race wins. If Kieran can go and chase down that Volkswagen. It's a big old gap to try and do, but if he can, it is looking like a very, very solid day for the Audis. It's still all to play for, though, for the final podium position. It looks like we are going to have something different get on the podium. Will it be a Renault? Will it be the Lexus? Could the Honda get a surprise podium? Maybe even that Vauxhall. There was... I'll be honest, not a huge expectation on the Astra to do necessarily that well around this circuit, but the Vauxhall has scored solid points, a good qualifying, and is running in 6th place, although Espion is coming. That Subaru recovered to 7th already, although they're going to get a little bit bumpy. Oh, Yami tries to buy into all of that, and I think that might actually cost them the run on the Subaru. Yeah, Yami keen to try and get past the Renault, not lose time on the Subaru. I mean, let's not forget the Renault is a good car here. I've been saying it all day, the Renault is a fast car here, and that might be able to cause the Subaru trouble. Espion up into 7th position. And the all-important thing when you're having a bad day, when you're having even technical difficulties, controller difficulties, electrical problems, whatever they may be, if you can still score points, if you can still get those championship points, that is all Yami's off touring the grass. That is so crucial. I don't know where Sheep has ended up. Sheep, I think, may have actually gone out of the race. So a terrible day in general for the Subarus here. Espion, though, still with a chance of scoring some solid points. Demon in 5th, still with the Civic, is actually looking to put some pressure on the Lexus, perhaps, to try and get a 4th position. How is Kieran doing with the gap to the leader? 2 seconds. 2 seconds is the gap. 7 laps to go. I mean, you only need to be running a few tenths, although it is one thing to catch. It is, as we've seen, a completely another thing to get passes done, although of all of the cars we have seen, the Audi has been making the easiest work it has been the easiest work around this this circuit. I think from what I am hearing, with Jamjar's car, it's coming under the bridge, hit the tyre bundle. There's a sticky out bit of tyre bundle, I think might have been the cause of that incident. I would imagine got fired across the track into Impega, and I think Zars was also involved in that incident. That would potentially be why those vehicles have fallen, well, they've fallen out of the order. Interestingly, while there's not a huge amount going on at the front, let's have a look at our highest gainer in terms of position, Hordes, all the way up into 10th place. The BMW always seems to come good in these second races. It wasn't even, front of the grid start for the BMW, but made up 12 places in this race. Yeah, okay, helped from bumping, shall we say, of some other cars, but still, up that many positions is a very, very good showing. How is Espion doing? This is kind of the big story with Jamjar out, essentially, of this race. Certainly out of the terms of contention for points here. The more points Espion can pick up, the bigger that championship lead is going to be, and he may well be catching this group ahead fairly quickly. I think I did see a Volkswagen out a little bit wide. Oh, the Volkswagen's going to be in trouble now. The Volkswagen is going to have to pretty much defend for his life, and it is a long way to go here. It is going to be the longest 5 laps of the Scirocco's, well, championship, certainly, if he is going to be able to fend off that Audi, and that is not what you want to be doing immediately into turn 1. I think the Audi is going to get that done. The Scirocco just couldn't pull it up in time, running a little bit too wide. Probably the easiest overtake the Audi has had to do in this entire race. But didn't make the mistakes, and has found himself up into the lead. Espion's had to take a trip to the pits. It's not a good day. I don't know what happened. Again, there is another issue for the Subaru. Espion's had a big crash. Something's gone wrong with the Subaru. I think he pushed it too hard and may well have found the tyre bundle on his own, because he was running in clean air. There was no one around him. Oh dear. This is a big important moment for Kieran. This is a big championship gain for the Audi. 2 very, very strong races here. Again, provided he doesn't get into any technical difficulties. Let's not forget, that is always very possible, and the Volkswagen is not out of it yet. That Volkswagen, if he doesn't make mistakes, has proved to be very, very, very fast at this circuit. It's held on for the lead for a long old time. It could well be. In fact, here comes the Scirocco thinking about the inside. He's not far enough alongside to actually make that one happen, but it's enough. It's just enough to put the Audi off. The Audi might have to start thinking about going defensive. I think we might have seen... I think there's a Honda. The Honda of Demon has had an incident as well. I think we may have seen another tyre bundle incident between the Honda and the... what's it called, that was running up with that group. The Honda and the Astra, sadly, they have fallen down the order. Now, unfortunately, on the stream, I can't be showing you what might happen there. With any luck, I can go and find an action replay when it comes to the to the video, so we can have that going on and see what went on with that. That promotes the BMW to 5th. The BMW of Hordes is all the way up in 5th place. That is a fantastic drive from that BMW. Is coming under increasing pressure from the Mercedes of Yami, who might be trying to have a look up the inside through these first corners. There is a few laps, although the BMW knew what he was doing when it came to defending at Laguna. He may well be able to pull out an absolutely stunning race result here from a long way down the order. An awful long way down the order. If he can hold on. If he can hold on in these closing stages, I wouldn't be surprised to see the car of Yami potentially a little bit hurting. He was around the Espion Demon sort of section and Aston's Vauxhall. He was around that kind of area, so possibly the Mercedes may be a little bit on the hurting side. It does mean that the Alfa Romeo is up into a 9th place. The Creator may be getting some more points with that Volvo. In fact, it may even be a double point score for the two Axis Bank Volvos, 10th and 11th place. THR Mugen in 13th with the Mazda. Ninetales may even score a point in the Scion in 12th position. Let's go back to the front. Kieran looks like he's starting to check out a little bit. I don't know where the Renault's gone. The Renault's made a small off somewhere, fallen back from the Scirocco there. It is not BMW, sorry, the Lexus in 4th. The BMW is trying everything he has to hold on to that 5th place from Yami's Mercedes. Or Mercedes too far on the inside. That's not going to help your run up the top of the hill. Here comes the Renault. The lap down car of Impega is actually quicker than this bunch of cars. I mean, he's going to have the best tyres of the lot. He's trying to get himself unlapped. Not really the sort of fight I think EA does. Quite wisely backs out of that manoeuvre, not wanting to impact these guys' race. That does put the second Renault of Invisible AK up into 6th place. Yeah, Yami tried a move. He got it too far on the inside, was a little bit too slow through the apex, and as he ran across the top of the hill, just didn't have the speed. AK taking a better line, will maintain that momentum up the top of the hill, and was able to get the position. A good pass. Again, another fantastic opportunistic pass. And that's kind of what we're seeing here at Lime Rock. We're seeing a lot in the way of opportunistic passes as the Ford gets out of the way of Integra's Audi up into 8th again. Some good gains for that Audi. I don't think we're going to see much action further down the order here. They look like there was a fair few gap. I think there are some poorly cars here at Lime Rock. It is perhaps going to be the biggest attrition race that we have seen. Back towards the front. What are the gaps looking like? Stephen is not really close enough as we head on. Oh, Stephen is off on the grass. I believe we are on now to the final lap. The Scirocco put up a fight. It put up a brilliant fight in the end, trying to get it stopped for turn 1. Asked a little bit too much of that Volkswagen. Just don't go doing anything stupid on this final lap. Lexus is going to get a fantastic 4th place finish as well if he can, if he can hold on to there. He's looking relatively in the clear. Halls has perhaps got the biggest concern with that Renault behind in 6th place. We will jump back to that before they cross the finish line. But it is going to be, if he doesn't bin in on the final corner, a fantastic drive. We saw some truly brilliant overtakes from F1 Kieran. The Audi is going to score a victory. It's not maximum points here, but a 1st and 2nd is not too bad whatsoever. A brilliant podium, though, from Stephen Magnet in the Scirocco to get 2nd. 3rd will go to Please Don't. He does get that podium with the Megane. 4th to Gliska with the Lexus again. Another fantastic drive from that car. Hordes with the BMW puts in a stunning drive to get a 5th place. The Renault score well, though. Invisible AK in 6th ahead of Yami. The 2 Volvos look like they are going to get... Oh! The Creator gets 10th. Stevie gets 11th. I don't know if that was done for spectacle or whether that was a genuine race out of the final corner, but well done to the Axis Bank Volvos, getting their first points of the championship, 10th and 11th. Great drive from there. The final point will go to Timid Ninetails in the what's it called? The Scion. There is a collection of broken cars down at turn 1. The championship leaders both failing to score here. Both failing. It is big drama at Lime Rock. We thought we may see some potential issues, and it's affected both the championship leaders equally, really, here in the final race. The big winner is Kieran Impega. Stunning drive in race 1 to take victory, but he was tangled up with the Mercedes incident. Will come round to get a 16th place at the end after a trip to the pit lane. It was definitely a frantic and busy midfield. We saw them all stacked up behind the Lexus for so long, and just little errors from a couple of drivers. I think it was the tyre bundles under the bridge that caught some cars out, and yeah. Well, that will have shaken up the championship. Unfortunately, of course, with this all being done live, I can't quite update the championship standings. Certainly know Kieran is going to have made some huge ground on the top 2. Whether it'll be enough to take the lead, I don't know. But there is going to be a, interesting championship standings. And well done to the 2 Renaults for a very solid points round. Certainly for Please Don't Eat Me, getting a podium with that car did very well. If he'd managed to get past the Lexus quicker, we could have seen, I think, a very different story here. But held up in traffic. Pretty much the story of Lime Rock. Being held up here in traffic was so costly. And yeah, we saw a few cars, the likes of Jam and the likes of Espion, just caught them in traffic, trying to make their way through, pushing too hard. little mistakes proved costly. The rundown of the race results: Kieran claiming victory in the Audi, Stephen in second with the Scirocco, a brilliant first podium for that Volkswagen. The Renault also gets its first podium in third. Regliska in fourth, the best finish for the Lexuses so far. Hordes, another stunning drive from well down the order to get fifth. Invisible AK with the second of the Renaults. I think the Renaults got the best points of the evening for their championship. Yami in seventh gets some points for H2H Racing, but not a great day for them. Der Integra with the second of the Audis up in eighth. Well done for Shaq getting that Alfa Romeo to ninth. And the two Volvo S60s, as I said, the Axis Bank Volvo scoring their first points of the championship. Tim in Ninetails wrestles the side around to get 12th. THR Mugen in 13th with the Mazda. Can't quite get points though. So close twice now with that Mazda to getting points. Blazer in 14th place with the second of the Civic. Zars in 15th with the independent Mercedes. Impega, well, we saw disastrous problems for Impega in the Focus. Gige with the BMW. Aston with the Astra down in 18th. And the DNF list is, well, the main championship contenders, three of the main championship contenders out. Espion, Jamjar and Sheep all DNFing in this race, as did Language for the second time with that Volvo, and Demon with the Civic after a good race one. All caught up in incidents. It has been a dramatic, it has been an exciting race here at Lime Rock. Traffic played a big part in all of this. Kieran did the best job making his way through. Very well done to the Audi driver. So, on to our championship standings, and HTR Espion will still lead after a disastrous second race here at Lime Rock. However, that lead has been cut to just 10 points over the Audi of F1 Kieran. Jamja also having a tough day, falls to third in the championship, although still just about within touching distance of the leader. It's looking very much like a three-horse race for this championship. Static Sheep had a terrible time of it with the Subaru. Stays in fourth place, but loses a lot of ground. Two of those top three. Yami had a poor race one, did score some points in the second race to move up to fifth. Please don't eat me, the big gainer in this is up into sixth with the Renault. Hordes, also with a good performance in race two, is up into seventh place. The side of Timid Ninetails struggled a bit here, falls to eighth. Stephen Magnet with that brilliant podium is ninth, ahead of PTG Muri, who couldn't take part sadly this time, and a random demon crash in race two. EVR Invisible AK, a bit better in second race, got stuck in traffic in race one, is up to 12th, ahead of Impega again. Crash damage affecting that Ford heavily in the second race. Regliska with a brilliant fourth place, held off a lot of cars for a long time with that Lexus to score some good points. The Bosch Scion of Aaron McGrath is down to 15th. Shaq does get some good points with the Alfa Romeo, kind of picked up the pieces where other cars fell off. Language got into a lot of trouble with the Volvo, just couldn't get any pace, so that ends up DNFing both races. Der Integra would take a 10-second penalty for the collision involving Sheep that would still see him score a couple of points, but would drop down to 11th in that second race. Zars crash damage, unfortunately, was looking for a good strong day for the Mercedes, but yeah, crash damage second race, so he scores no more points. Likewise with GTR Aston. The Creator and Stevie both scoring points in that second race, meaning a much improved day for the Axis Bank Volvos. Team BMR Subaru will lead the team championship standings, but that is also only by 10 points. H2H Racing closed the gap just a little tiny bit out here. It's very close between the pair of them. Audi Autosport have a good day as well, up into a third place, and they're not that far behind either. Equally good day for the Alpine Renault Works team as they take fourth. The Subaru Casco Advent still the highest of the independents, but does slip to fifth overall. The Wackos Motorsport couldn't get anything right in race one, but is up to a sixth with that great result in race two. DMAC Racing in seventh. Red Dice Racing move up thanks to the podium. Honda Racing down to ninth. Ford Racing up into that 10th position, just fending off the Crunchyroll Motorsport Lexus. Bosch slip all the way down to 12th, not being able to take part sadly in this week's race, although the Scions would likely have struggled anyway. Alphaholics Racing have moved ahead, or stayed ahead I should say, sorry, of the Wells Racing Volvo. The Jamsport dealer team is still in 15th place. The Axis Bank gets some decent points, and they actually move ahead of the Team Aeon VXR. It's, yeah, been a big old turnaround in pretty much all of the championships. If you stayed out of trouble in that race too, you could make up some big points, and those big points may well be useful when it comes to, or even the little points be useful when it comes to the end of the season. for the manufacturers standing, and Mercedes closed a little bit on Subaru, but not by anywhere near as much as they perhaps would have liked. Audi up into third and potentially hunting down those Mercedes. Renault have leapfrogged ahead of Scion, although look out for the Scions coming back when it comes to some of the later races. BMW jump ahead of Honda. Great showing from Volkswagen, especially in that second race, to move them up into 8th place, tied with the Honda at the moment. Ford with that incredible race win, but shame about the crash damage, is in 9th ahead of Lexus. Volvo leapfrog Alfa Romeo. Vauxhall have got some points on the board, while Mazda still struggling a little bit. That, though, is going to be it for this video, and indeed for this round of the championship at Lime Rock. The next race is going to be on Sunday. You can catch the entire thing live over on my Twitch channel. There'll be a link in the description on Sunday the 25th. The qualifying will kick off at 7 PM BST time. There'll be a little bit of faffing in between sort of stuff, sorting out lobbies, etc. But you can see qualifying, you can see both of the races live over there. But if you're unable to make it, of course, they will find their way to YouTube in a similar format as to this one. But yeah, that is going to be it from me. Our next round heads to Nürburgring, the GP circuit. We go from our shortest lap to the longest lap. And let's not forget, there is always a potential for a bit of rain, and that could throw all sorts of spanners in the works. Thank you very much all for watching, and until next time, goodbye.